Hi, welcome to the Live and Kicking show again. And as you may have visited us before, you'll know that this is all about trying to help people with some good up-to-date information on working online, putting over ideas, messages, whatever it is you're trying to do online, try to give you some support and some ideas to move forwards. I've got my good friend and a very experienced marketer here, Barry, who's actually going to talk with me, have a chat with me about what we think about the current situation and what differences there are, what opportunities there are. See whether he comes in. There he is. Hiya, Barry. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good, good. Okay, well, I've got a few things that I thought we would talk about. And first of all, I'm going to ask you, just going to put this up on screen. So here we go. So there we go. What do we think has changed in online marketing since this world pandemic has occurred?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a question and a half, isn't it? Because it really has been quite a phenomenal change over the last, well, I suppose it's a couple of months now, isn't it? What's your feeling, Barry? Have you been affected by it, and have you had to, have you seen a great difference in the way we have to work online?
Yeah, personally, this 12-week lockdown has really opened my eyes onto how we can communicate online. People who have never ever worked online or purchased online or whatever are now finding it quite easy. And I think this is now the way that it will go forward.
As you say, it's changed so much out of all order in that it's become quite almost a normal now, hasn't it? I mean, it seems to me that people at sort of every level of access, and I think originally the government were trying to make sure that every household in the country would eventually become online, and it seems like this has almost forced us into that situation. I can imagine that a lot of people have felt uncomfortable about it at first, but do you think actually it's been taken up more easily than we think? Has it progressed easily for people who've struggled? Because I know that before this pandemic, you were online a little bit, but not that much, were you? Wasn't?
Oh, no, it was extremely strange to me. And one of the things that has occurred to me is these care homes. There's a lady there bought 60 iPhones for the older people in there to speak to their relatives who have never ever used an iPhone before, but now are completely comfortable with it and communicating with their family outside. It's happening all over the world, and I can't possibly see it ever going back to what it was 12 weeks ago.
Well, it's a strange thing because probably 5 years ago, I was doing a series of videos and I built a website for actually a group of retirement homes. And at the time, I came up with a proposal that was like, how they could perhaps move their business forwards and what things they could do online. And one of the elements I recommended to them then was the idea of picking up with iPads and actually taking the iPads to quite a few of the elderly to give them the opportunity to connect more with their families on a regular basis. As it happens, it wasn't picked up because costs were so tight. At that time, there was no money for actually putting into that sort of equipment. And isn't it laughable that all of this has been turned around in a matter of weeks, really, to a couple of months through necessity? But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's good, actually. I really do think it's good because there's a lot of people like myself who live alone. Contact has been either by landline or letters or just waiting for someone to contact you. Now we can contact them overnight. Look at Sir Tom, right? His online sort of progress has raised £33 million. That would have never happened 10 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible case. And I think there are cases like that where this is partially due to social media, isn't it? And the ability for people and almost people power to pick up something that they see as worthwhile and then for it to be carried forward. I've always felt that's a positive side of online opportunity, is that people can really see something good and then that can be magnified so many times and very, very quickly. Everybody's got an opportunity now to take their good elements and get them out there on the internet, and actually other people will automatically be drawn towards it. Do you think that, you know, this is going to be a lasting effect? Do you think we're going to see this, you know, kind of stick and people will want to stay online?
Yeah, I honestly think that this is the way forward now. But the amount of people now that want to communicate with other people online, not only in marketing and selling, but just in family to family, friend to friend, I don't think virtually it will ever go back now. It's just going to go forward.
Well, it's interesting because on one of my daily walks, I met a gentleman, and he was saying that they had international locations and national locations all over this country, offices. And he was saying that they've all obviously been forced to move home, but they can't see now why on earth they would go back to all those offices, because it's worked so well. In many respects, it gives people a lot more flexibility, both on timing, and it gives them more flexibility on, you know, being able to fit it in with their other family needs, and perhaps, you know, many other reasons they don't have to travel as much. I've always been a keen environmentalist, and I felt for a long time that, you know, that there's far too much travel, far too many people feel as though they need to meet face to face, which I don't deny has its own value as well. But when you think of the environment and the need for the environment, you know, could we do more of this in order, and could it be a lasting effect in order to help save the environment? I mean, what's your view on that?
Well, I think you're absolutely right, because look at what we're doing now. We wouldn't have been able to do this a few years ago. When I was promoted to national marketing manager, I had to move 220 miles from my home in Sheffield to Gloucester. I wouldn't have to do that now. No way would I have to do that now. I could still do my job well from my first home, but I had to move. My son, who is an internet marketing manager, he travels all over the country. He's now working from home, and it's just as simple for him now to do that as what it was to get in his car and drive thousands of miles a year. It's going to save. Not only is it going to save fuel and money, it's going to save the atmosphere as well. All this driving, people will not have to do it so much. And I really think that this is the way forward. People will see that, and I think they will move forward with it.
I agree with you, but we know also that that means there's going to be a lot of job changes, going to have to be a lot of adjustment, isn't there? Because obviously a lot of people rely on the jobs around that, you know, all those services and facilities when people move around. So I guess that, you know, we've got a massive period of change coming up, but clearly if we can help people to grasp their way forwards online, I think that's going to help them a lot. And we have to find out where people fit in online. Everybody's got a right to be there and to share their knowledge and to be able to make an earning if they need to off online, you know, through sharing their information and sharing their services. And of course, the big thing now is how they're going to manage to do that. So I really appreciate it. I didn't want it to be a long broadcast today. I'd look forward to coming back, Barry, and having another chat with you in more depth about some of these areas, if that's okay with you.
That'll be fine.
One of the things I thought I would do was just to give a view over one of the services that I can offer, which I think could be quite useful for people. I've put together a little package so that people can get online very easily with products and with some of their services. And I've called it the Moby Store Stack. This has got quite a few elements to it that will make it quick and easy, and you'll be supported on the way that you have your site built, and then the way that you actually use your site online. And obviously I'd like to help people with their marketing moving forwards. So I think that might be of some interest to people, and that's called the Moby Store Stack. And if you'd like to visit my website, Activator Lifestyle, I'd be more than happy for you to book an appointment, and I'd offer a 15-minute free appointment. And if you're finding, that there's good information coming across, and you think you could work with me and you need my help, then I can offer at very reasonable rates a consultancy service at really overall aspects of online marketing, and perhaps getting your business online or just getting online yourself. So I look forward to the possibility of working with you in the future. So I'm just going to point out again, the website is actually activatorlifestyle.com. And this is what we call the Live and Kicking show. And it goes out actually on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So depending on where you are in the world, you'll get it on different time zones. But the big thing is we say, let's kick ass, take action, have a strategy, and you will find success. So looking forward to coming back and chatting with you soon. Have a great day.